The Cigar Nerds Podcast.
And welcome back. Previous video I called My Last Cigar. I kind of said I would explain further like why I'm not smoking, and it's, believe me, completely temporary. I'm having surgery at the filming of this in about 3 days. And I was told no tobacco use 4 weeks before or 6-ish weeks after. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to document is my experience best I can. If anyone else ends up going through this, I'm a diabetic. Been on medication for probably close to a decade at this point, but I'm starting to develop a resistance to my prescription medications. And they gave me a choice like, well, you can either go on insulin or you might want to look into some kind of weight loss surgery, which is what I'm doing. I'm getting a gastric sleeve. Kind of the first issue you run into is whether or not your insurance will cover this. My particular insurance, because sometimes, as long as, like I said, your doctor says it's a medical necessity, your insurance is cool. Mine, unfortunately, would not cover it. Even if the doctor said it was medically necessary, I just did not have that coverage in my policy. So I am going to be traveling to Tijuana, Mexico. Now, I know what you're saying, like, dude, that sounds shady as fuck. But no, Tijuana and has kind of become like a medical tourism destination. And the place I'm going has got like, it's called Obesity Control Center. Not sponsored. But they're supposed to be like an international recognized center of excellence. And, been doing this for kind of like, I think I said they had a combined experience of like 50 years. Like I said, these guys have been around a long time. And the recommendation to investigate these came from people that are medical professionals that have either dealt with them directly or had patients deal with them. So I was kind of confident that I was not going to some back alley doctor. I mean, hell, we'll see how it is when I get back. And I'm going to, said, hey, take my camera, try to document as much of that as possible. The reason I'm going to make, like I said, if insurance doesn't cover it, and they don't want you kind of giving out kind of price quotes, but let's just say the cost of, even with like airlines and all that, still like a third of the price of getting it done out of pocket here in the U.S. So if you're like me and can't afford to get something like that done, and it's something interesting you, like I said, look at, possibly traveling to another country to get that stuff done. Kind of the process going through is that you pay your deposit, and then you have to pay whatever your remaining stuff is a couple weeks before your surgery date. But you also have to show that you can lose weight, not just to kind of show that you're able to develop good eating habits, but also you need to kind of shrink your liver because it kind of gets in the way of the surgery. So they want you kind of detoxify as best you can. So normally, based on whatever your current weight is when you start the program, they'll tell you need to lose, I think, like 5-10% of that weight. And right now I'm like 10 pounds past the weight they told me I had to hit, so I'm good to go in that regard. But yeah, it's not as easy. Man, I want to be thin. Let me call these dudes and just get cut up. No, you got to do a little work on your side to get there. And also, let's say the last 2 weeks, I was already pretty much doing, to get down to my goal weight, my whatever surgery weight, keto and intermittent fasting. But within the 2 weeks prior, you can only drink your protein. So you can eat as much leafy green vegetables as you want, and the rest is done via some kind of low carb, low sugar protein shake. And then the final 2 days before the surgery, which I start tomorrow, that's all you get is shake. So, and then like I said, there's probably going to be several weeks to a month of just eating liquids after the surgery. Like I said, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to update y'all on why I'm not smoking And, you know, like I said, I think it's like December 15th, will be officially allowed to smoke again. But, you know, like I said, I just kind of wanted to give y'all a explanation of what has been going on. And I'm also going to take my camera with me to Mexico and see what I can actually record of this process for anyone who may be interested. And starting our epic journey here at Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Oh, it's too fucking early, 10 a.m. Been up since about 6 a.m. And we've got a noon flight, so wander the mall, look at shit, and then get ready to next stop Dallas, then San Diego, and finally Mexico. Check in with you along the way. On the way. Well, we made it to Dallas. I got a 3-hour layover before we head on to our next destination, which is San Diego. See you then.
Hurry up.
Nice tour of the Dallas airport. Finally made it to California. Got delayed out of Dallas. It only took all day. So it's about 11 o'clock my time, 7:30 here in Cali. And now we're just waiting on the courtesy shuttle to get us to the hotel. And then tomorrow, Mexico. Morning. We've made it to the windy San Diego, California. I thought California's supposed to be warm all the time. It's cold as balls right now. Got in late last night. Now we're kind of waiting on the next leg of our journey. About 10 o'clock this morning, a representative from the hospital should come pick us up at the hotel and drive us the rest of the way to Tijuana. So that's what's next on this journey. Probably the worst part of this so far is the last 48 hours you're on a liquid-only diet. And this flying's at my sinuses all jacked up. And today I have to show up fasting. So I went from liquid food to no food. And my lab tests aren't until like 1. So it's going to be a long, I'm going to be hangry. Definitely hangry. Stay tuned. Alright, first day in Tijuana. TJ, whatever they call it these days. Arrived this afternoon, went straight to the med center. Did the kind of the pre-op tests and whatnot. They did a COVID test, some kind of blood test, EKG, height, weight, BMI. Did a quick consult with the doctor and the internal medicine doctor, and then was sent back to the hotel. We're staying in a nice Marriott here in Tijuana. Anyone who's like, man, going to Tijuana sounds sketchy as fuck. I mean, I don't know, riding through Tijuana looks sketchy as fuck, but the hospital itself was like super clean, super high tech. I mean, shit looked better than like going into my local hospital. Yeah, it was like so far the quality of care that I have received has been top notch. Unfortunately, I guess I'm first on the list because I gotta get up at 6, or I have to meet the driver to take me to the med center at like 6:10 in the morning. So yeah, it's gonna be an early fucking morning. I will probably can't film anything there at the med center. If I can get to my camera, I'll maybe do a little post-op shit on my phone. Otherwise, I will check in with y'all once I get back to the hotel. See how I feel then. I'm alive. So yeah, had surgery, I guess 4 or 5 hours ago. But everything went well. I actually don't feel too bad, just a little stomach pressure. They say, gas is common, but right now they have us pretty much hourly. Get up, walk
10 laps around the nurse's station, do some breathing exercises, and then pretty much just nap until it's time to go again, because I don't know if it's the medication or just not sleeping leading up to this, but other than being tired, I feel good. I got a little scratch from the tape, because you are under general anesthesia, so you got the tube down your throat, but no catheters. So yeah, supposed to stay overnight, keep getting up, doing these walks, and breathing exercises, and we should release us back to the hotel at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Check in when you're there.
Alright, day 1 post-op update. I'm back at the hotel now. Spent the night in the med center last night. Did the surgery first thing in the morning. I said it was relatively quick because I was unconscious, so I'm not exactly sure how long it took. And then you spend the rest of the day doing laps around the nursing station. Like, you have a lot of really pain from the surgery, but gas pain afterward. So what they want you to do is to get up every hour, walk around the nurse's station 10 laps, and then do exercises on this little breathing machine thing here to help relieve some of that gas pain. And as long as everything looks good, they release you at 6 o'clock in the morning to go back to your hotel. So I've been here since this morning. Pretty much while in the hospital, it was like, until it was time to walk, I slept. It was like I was groggy as shit the whole time. So it's like after I was awake when I was doing my laps, but as soon as I got back in the bed, it was like, I mean, I did manage to stay awake long enough to watch the new episode of Andor, but that was about it. And today, back at the hotel, it's been pretty much the same. I'll get up, take whatever medications I need, do a couple laps, and then nap for the next hour until I gotta get up and take more medication and do more laps. So the first 2 days you want to get at least 64 ounces of liquid, but nothing. You're only on like a clear liquid diet, so water, electrolytes, popsicles, and broth. So I had my first broth today. That's the first thing I've eaten in like 2 days. So far it's not been bad. A little crampy here and there, but get up, walk it off, take a burp, take a fart, you're good to go. Hopefully I'll have more energy tomorrow, because pretty much once the surgery is done and they release you from the hospital, you got to stay here just in case there's some kind of complications, but you don't have any more doctor's appointments for 2 days. So I won't have to go back for kind of like the final test and release until Monday. So Saturday and Sunday, we're free to do whatever. I mean, go see if I can find some Cuban cigars, or supposedly some dude named Frank does a tour on Sundays. We'll see. But yeah, this is the first day back. My energy level is shit. So hopefully I'll feel enough to do some roaming tomorrow. Check in then. Hola, mi amigos. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? I don't know. I guess I've been here in Mexico so long that I'm starting to pick up a couple phrases. What, did you find that amusing?
Well, it's easy more.
So day 2 post-op update, still in Tijuana. Day 1 sucked. I mean, I felt nauseous half the time I was trying to like consume liquids or broth or whatever, and I just napped most of the day between trying to force liquids in and doing my walks to relieve gas. But in day 2, I've not taken a nap today. I've felt energy levels feel back to normal. I've not felt any problems eating or drinking anything today. So if you do go do this, day 1 may suck. Day 2, for me at least, has been a lot easier. Did venture out today, found some Cuban cigars for when I'm allowed to start smoking again. So, and also if you're worried about being able to communicate down here, like so far just about everyone we've run into spoke English, except for the Uber guy that took us to the cigar shop, but we didn't really have to speak. It was all done through the Uber app. So, I mean, so far we've not had any problems getting around, or, yeah, we don't have any pesos, but our debit cards work here, so, yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it's fairly simple procedure. What's up next is finally starting the long journey home tomorrow. I'll go into the doctor's office down here for a final check, do a barium swallow to make sure nothing's leaking, and as long as that's good, we are released to return. So our driver will pick us up around noon to take us back across the border, and then jump on several flights to arrive back home sometime Tuesday morning. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the hardest part, is trying to figure out how and where to eat on the journey back, because first 2 days you're liquid only, but by the third day you can start doing what they call full liquids. Back to the protein drinks, and you need to get a certain amount of protein today, but it's going to be sitting on a lot of flights. It's going to be trying to figure out how to make said drinks and take medications throughout the day, because pretty much going to be either in an airport or on a plane for the next 24 hours starting tomorrow, so that may be a little difficult to wrangle, but yeah, I'm feeling much better today than I was the first day, so looks like everything's gonna work out appropriately. And I'll check back with y'all on our journey home.
Okay, and finally back home. Final thoughts on this whole thing. I'm currently 5 days post-op. Didn't kind of report on our travels home because it was like a 24-hour trip, and as soon as I got here, it was like nap time for real. So far, feel great. Now the hard part is kind of hitting water intake and protein goals that they set for you, because I still don't really feel hungry, but I know I have to hit certain amounts each day, so it's kind of got to go on autopilot and just keep putting fuel in the system even though you don't feel like you need to. And also finding my new kind of normal capacity. So like there's been a couple times where it's ate a little more than I should, where it's like 1 cup of whatever felt like too little, but 2 cups was definitely too fucking much, and my stomach was all gurgly and bloated for a couple hours afterwards. So it's like just trying to kind of dialing in and finding where you need to be to not only keep things going in comfortably, but also hitting your numbers. So like I said, I recommend kind of small chunks more often than like big chunks throughout the day. But other than, like I said, there's a couple times where I've just kind of tried to do too much all at once, and can't lift anything over 15 pounds for 3 weeks. After that, they said you can add 5 pounds per week, and then no restrictions after 6 weeks. Just kind of pay attention to what your body's telling you if you're going to try to get swole. But so far, like I said, I feel no ill effects. It's just a kind of a learning process of finding the right amount of food, whatever it is, to put into the system and still hit your kind of protein and water goals for the day without kind of overdoing it all at once. It's kind of a learning curve, but like I said, so far I feel great. For the next 17 days, I'm strictly what they call full liquids. So you water down yogurt, broth, protein shakes, and that's about it. The next phase is pureed foods. So at least then I can taste something different than just liquids all the time. So that's all I got for you for now. Maybe I'll check back in a couple of weeks when I move on to the next phase, and check in with y'all. Like I said, once I'm back on solid foods and actually back able to fully work out again, and just give y'all a periodic update. But that's all I got for you. I mean, if you have any questions, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be happy to answer what I can. And also, subscribe and shit.